Hi, I'm Jason Feldner. This week we're chasing jumbo perch on Devils Lake. Stay right where you're at. Fish Yet is coming up. Just dig. Oh yeah, there's this dandy. Look at that jumbo. That's a Devils Lake jumbo right there. Boy, I tell you, I had probably 6 or 7 fish come in and look. I was using the rattl'n flyer there at first. And those fish would come in, look at it, and just immediately come up to it, boom, shoot right back down to the bottom. Immediately, I knew that wasn't the key to catch these fish today. So what I did is I actually grabbed a 360 jig from Lindy. They make various sizes and colors. This thing, I just tipped it with a minnow head, and what I did was I started pumping that rod about 2 feet off the bottom. And when these fish are cruising along the bottom edge of the lake there, they can see up so much better than straight out in front of them. So what I was doing is ripping this thing up and down, and what that does, that 360 jig spins, and that throws out a vibration plus a flash. And the reason I think this lure is working right now is because I think they're on a minnow bite. So I'm tipping this with a minnow head, and I'm taking that rod and I'm pumping it and getting that good flash and that vibration. Now the key to it is when this thing falls, it falls parallel to the bottom and it flutters. So it acts just like that wounded bait fish. So I let it flutter down. Now I keep pumping it, and as soon as I see on my graph, like right here, that fish is off to the edge. As soon as I see that when I'm doing that pumping action, I let it fall to the bottom like that bait fish just boom. Went all the way down to the bottom. Then all I do is just lift up really slow and just start doing a shimmy shake in one spot. The key is not to have that lure bouncing up and down, but to sit in one spot and just shimmy shake and have that minnow head floating like that. And this thing just came up and smoked it. So I think I got it figured out. We should be able to put a lot more fish in a bucket. Boy, these things can dig. Drag peeling. Get that up out of the way here. Oh, look at that monster. That's a beautiful Devils Lake perch right there. But I tell you, the hardest thing is finding the location to catch these perch. And I tell you, what I look for is I look for mud bottom. There's a lot of shrimp in this body of water. There's a lot of old cattail beds, a lot of old trees and brush areas. But what I have here today is I actually have a hump behind me that isn't very big. It's only probably a couple 100 yards long, maybe 50 yards wide, and it drops off into a mud basin right here, and then it gradually goes up to the shoreline of Devils Lake. And it's probably only 300 yards long, but I have a huge mud flat on each end of it, and these fish are actually funneling right down into that bottleneck, and that's where I'm catching these perch today. But try to look for the edge of those humps where it comes down, it's gravel, trees, brush, and it hits that mud bottom. A lot of times you can just feel it when you drop that jig down to the bottom. So next time you're out perch fishing, take a look at some natural funnels with some mud bottom, and you may have success like this. Oh, I saved that one. Tell you another thing is about this perch fishing is being efficient. If you can be efficient, you're going to catch a lot more fish. Oh, that's a darn dandy perch there. If you can see here, what I've got is I've got a bunch of extra minnow heads laying on the floor here. So as soon as I catch one of these fish, I can take this 360 jigs out, reload it, and get it back down there. Remember, these are mini schools in these shallow water bays. And the faster you can get your bait down there, the more fish you're going to catch. Remember the 3 key things to finding jumbo perch is, oh, this is nice one, is bottom structure, bottom type, mud, finding that funnel, and jig presentation. This 360 jig proved itself today as these fish are chasing minnows. That fluttering action was key to catching these fish. They didn't want rattles today. So just remember that next time. Bottom structure, try to find yourself a funnel, and jig selection. I'm Jason Feldner. Tune in next week for another episode of Fish Ed.